For years, many LDS scholars have noted that Mesoamerica has cultural and historical evidence that coincides remarkably with the culture and history that we read about in the Book of Mormon. One of the greatest tragedies of history is undoubtedly the torture and decimation of the native peoples by the Spanish conquerors in the 16th century. Included in this destruction were many Mayan books or codices that told the story of their history and culture.
We found a large number of books of these characters, and as they contained nothing in which there was not to be seen superstition and lies of the devil, we burned them all, which the Indians regretted to an amazing degree, and which caused them much affliction.
Well, it's certainly understandable why the Indians would regret not only destroying their society, but destroying their records. However, I think we need to put a perspective on it, because the Book of Mormon prophesied that that event would take place, that another book would be brought to this continent, meaning the Bible.
Many of the ancient texts are gone forever. It's possible that some may have survived and are currently among large stores of undocumented manuscripts in old Catholic libraries in Rome, Spain, or Mexico, waiting to be rediscovered. But a few did survive, and among them appears to be striking parallels with the Book of Mormon. Two of these Mayan texts are the Lords of Totonicapán and the Annals of the Cachicals. Both of these texts were discovered in the highlands of Guatemala. Although they were written by native Mayans around the time of the Spanish conquest, over 1,000 years after the Nephite nation was destroyed, both contain information that speaks of a more ancient culture and time.
First of all, I had interest in the late 1940s and the 50s on the ancient American texts. And as I graduated from the
Elder
University of
Ted E.
Alberta in
Brewerton
Canada,
served as a general authority in the First Quorum of the 70 of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints from 1978 to 1995, when he was given emeritus status. He has always nurtured a deep love for the peoples of Central and South America, serving them both as a mission president and later as an area president. During those years, he took a particular interest in their ancient manuscripts and was instrumental in helping to return to the native peoples some very old copies thought to have been lost.
When I was mission president later on, 13 years later in Costa Rica, from 1965 to 68, I was pleased that a piece of advertising arrived in my mail in San Jose, Costa Rica, indicating the sale of an ancient book called The Title of the Lords of Totonicapán, written and translated in Spanish in 1834, from the original dialect of Maya Quiché in 1554. And I thought, well, that's the book that's only available in the museums of Europe. But there it is available, so I send a sum of money to this Tramscombs bookstore in the Virgin Islands, of all places. And a few months later, it hadn't come, so I thought that was a nice try, but I guess I just don't get the book. But shortly thereafter, the book arrived.
Elder Brewerton has noticed possible parallels with these manuscripts and the Book of Mormon.
At the end of the history, which they recorded in their dialect of Maya Quiché, they say the following. There were about 15 chiefs there. They said, now in the year the 28th of September, 1554, we sign our testimony that we have written that by tradition, our old ancestors told us they came from the other part of the sea, from Sivan Tulan, the confines of Babylonia. Even though I have a firm testimony as to the validity and truthfulness of the Book of Mormon, I've always felt that the ancient texts surely must say something about what happened with those ancient people.